Hey, you guys, and welcome to my October TBR as well as my hashtag yearthon LGBT TBR. I know, up so late, but hey, better late than never. Maybe you guys would join us this week. I'll link the hashtag yearthon down below as well as the TBR thread so you guys can see what everyone else is reading and probably look at some of the books that I am not going to be mentioning because we would be here forever. In other case, it's just like I have such like a long string of books that I want to get to. There's no way that I'll be able to get through it all this week. But there were quite a few physical books that I didn't know that I owned, so I hadn't put any of those on my TBR because I kind of forgot about them. But I had like a lot of Kindle ones, and as well I have like a few books in general that I want to get to this month. Otherwise I'll be keeping the LGBT theme throughout the whole month, so hopefully I'll get through a majority of what I plan to show you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first book that I want to get to is Crash and Burn by Abigail Roux. I haven't actually bought it yet, which is a surprise because usually this is like the ninth and final book. It is the final book in any regards in the Cut and Run series, and it follows Ty and Zane and their FBI partners, and they have like a real tumultuous, is that the word? They have like a real angsty relationship throughout all these books. I've been loving and enjoying it, and just the fact that it's ending has me in like wraps, and like I'm just like, okay, maybe I should reread it from the first book and then read the ninth book, because I had been wanting to reread it, and I guess now is the time to do that. And I want to save like the last one, that way I can read something new by the end of the marathon, if you get what I'm saying. So that's what I'm thinking about at this moment. And then we have The 5 Stages of Andrew Brawley by Shaun David Hutchinson. Now, I have been wanting to read this book, and it was $1.99 on Kindle, and I could not resist getting it. This follows this boy, and his family recently died, and he's still in the hospital recovering. He's the only one left, as far as I know. And then this other boy, and he's kind of given up on like living, I guess. And this other boy is wheeled into the hospital, and he seems to be in even worse shape than him. And they start bonding, and he's thinking that maybe there is hope after all. So I really want to read that one. And then I'll show you Half Bad, which I forgot counted it in the LGBT theme, and it is by Sally Green. And I read this one and I loved it, and it was like I just flew through it, and I really want to reread it because I recently got Half Wild. Look at it, it's so pretty. This is a sneak peek into my recent hauls to come. Yes, I said hauls as in plural. Okay, and I just really kind of forgot some small details probably that I think will be relevant when reading the second book, especially in terms of like other characters' name besides the main character, and just like, you know, stuff like that. So I really want to get that, read this one and then read this one, and that will be awesome. And then I have More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. I think this is still $1.99 on the Kindle. If it is, I'll link it down below. But I've been seeing it in a lot of people's hauls lately, so I read the sample, then I bought it because even though I heard what people were saying about it, I wanted to see for myself. So I read it and I liked it. It was about this boy, and he lives in this world where recently they came up with technology where you can wipe your unwanted memories out. So we start off the novel, I only read a page or two, with like we learn that his father had committed suicide, and his mother's having like a really hard time with it. Like the family in general is, but she is like ignoring them sort of, and you know, he's had to grow up faster for him and his younger brother, and like he's just having a hard time of it in life. And then this new guy moves into the neighborhood or school, I don't know which, and he starts hanging out with him, and for the first time in a long time he's starting to feel really happy and stuff like that. But his friends don't like this new guy, and neither does his girlfriend. So he's thinking about using the memory wiping technology, and so yeah, there is that. And then I totally forgot about this, but Proxy by Aleksandr, which I have owned for quite a bit because I believe I got it not soon after it came out, because Christina from the Princess Gummy Bear gave it to me for my birthday. I know because I still have like the note in here, and it says like, at least it's not about fan fiction. Oh, see, my fan fiction addiction is still strong after all these years. And then I have pre-ordered the second book, Guardian, so really need to get to it. And even though I love both these covers, the cover change was wow, like seriously. And then I have another reread that I want to get to is it's Kian by R.G. Scott. Is the first book in the Fire trilogy. From what I can remember of this, it was just like one boy is like propelled from like another world and something is going on and there's like interdimension stuff. But it was like a really short book. But I had book 1 and book 2, but I never read book 3. But as you can tell, I don't really remember what happened in the first 2 books. So I really want to reread the first 2 books and then buy and read the third one. So hopefully that will be happening. And then I have Dark Soul, the complete collection by Aleksandr Voinov. This one is one that takes place in like the mob. So like he's like this one guy, I guess, is in the mob and he has a wife and stuff, but then there's like this assassin and they meet and their sparks are flying. I heard this one though is like really violent and like this is rated R type stuff. So I'm not surprised. It is the mob and just like they don't hold back. I heard someone was like, I liked it, but it was just too much to continue. I remember the first volume was free, so if it still is, I'll link it down below. But yeah, hopefully to get to that one. And then I got from the library the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So this one follows, I really don't know how to pronounce his name, but I'm gonna just call him P. So P is like a disgraced son of a king, and he was exiled to where Achilles is, and Achilles and P's relationship like grows as they get older, and Achilles' mom, who's like some sort of sea god witch, does not like this. And anyway, when the Trojan War happens, they both, Achilles has to go fulfill his destiny and go off to fight, and P goes with him. And then over the years, like I guess their relationship has been challenged and whatever. So I'm really looking forward to this. I saw and read some reviews recently, and it just like apparently I'm going to go through the feels on this one like no tomorrow. So the next book that I have for you is Rack and Ruin by Charlie Cochet. It is the third book in the third series. I love this series. It takes place in a world where people, there was like a big war, some genetic altering of DNA went on, and now some people shapeshifts or whatever. So there's this whole thing of like shapeshifters versus people who don't, because they call them abominations and stuff like that. And oh my god, so great, so great. And the main couple for the first, I think after this one we're not going to follow the same couple anymore, so this is going to be like their last story, and I really want to get to it. And hopefully, I don't own it yet, but I'll probably end up buying it if I feel like it during the week. Now, cutting off the LGBT stuff, even though there is a lot more, we have a buddy read with Geraldine from Starion 72, and it is The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. I'm not sure if she's going to get to it because she's been a little iffy on reading. She has a Tumblr problem, people, and I'll be linking down everyone I mentioned down below. But I recently started, I didn't get that far. I'm only on page 27, chapter 6, but hey, Aleksandr, not deep, but I'm hoping to read this soon. And then Geraldine wanted to read Frankenstein or The Haunting by Shirley Jackson. So depending on both when we finish The Fifth Wave, we'll see if we'll actually get to one of these two, if that will be happening. And then I wanted to get to Unearthly by Cynthia Han. Recently, I was supposed to buddy read this one with somebody, but we kept missing each other, and I forgot about it for a while. And she said she started it, so I really want to at least read it, even if I don't read it like around the same time that she does, but that way I can still talk to her about it. So there we go. And then I have some books that are on hold from the library, and one of them is The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. And I know you're like, ke-sha, you're holding it in your hand, but I'm talking about the Kindle copy, so I don't have to carry this around. That way I can highlight everything that I want to, and I'm just really looking forward to reading this one. So good, so good. So good. And then I know there's something else that I have from the library that I want to get to. I don't know. But I do have a few holes that if they get in, I'll probably read it right away. Like The Wrath in the Dawn. You know, that Arabian 100 Nights retelling. So I want to get to that. Fairest by Marissa Meyer. I don't own the physical copy, or actually I already read it by now. So I'm waiting on that. And what was it? The King of Thorns by Mark Lawrence. That is a second book in the Broken Empire series, and I really want to get to that. So if any of those get in, they'll be like top priority. So those are all the books, well, not all the books, but those are mainly the books that I really want to get to first out of everything. So you guys let me know down below if you guys have heard of any of these books. Are you guys planning to participate in LGBT month, and whether or not which books you guys are going to be reading this month. Let me know down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.